Economic recovery looks just like the recession. This is not what a recovery is supposed to look like. In Atlanta, the Bank of America Tower, the tallest in the southeast, is nearly a fifth vacant, and bank officials just got a rent cut from the developer. In Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 10% of the houses on the market are so-called short sales, in which sellers ask for less than they owe lenders. And in Arizona and some blasted desert subdivisions, owners speak of hours cut, jobs lost, and meals at soup kitchens. So, less than a month before November elections, the United States is mired in a grim new normal that could last for many years. That has policymakers, particularly the Federal Reserve, considering a range of ever more extreme measures, as noted in the minutes of last meeting released Tuesday. Call it recession or recovery. For tens and tens of millions of Americans, there's very little difference. Born of a record financial collapse, this recession has been more severe than any since the Great Depression, and has left an enormous oversupply of houses and office buildings and crippling debt. The decision last week by leading mortgage lenders to freeze foreclosures and calls for a national moratorium could cast a long shadow of uncertainty over banks and the housing market. More chaos and confusion. Put simply, the national economy has fallen so far that it could easily take many years to climb back. And the math yields somber conclusions with implications not just for this fall's elections, but also, barring a policy surprise or economic upturn, for 2012 as well. At the current rate of job creation, the nation would need at least 9 more years to recapture the jobs lost during the recession, and that doesn't even account for 5 million or 6 million jobs needed in that time to keep pace with an expanding population. Even top Obama officials concede the unemployment rate could climb higher still. Median house prices have dropped 20% since 2005, given an inflation rate of approximately 2%, a common forecast. It would take at least 13 years for housing prices to climb back to their peak, according to Alan L. Sinai, chief global economist at the consulting firm Decision Economics. Commercial vacancies are soaring, and it could take at least a decade to absorb the excess in many of the largest cities. The vacancy rate, as of the end of June, stands at 21.4% in Phoenix, 19.7% in Las Vegas, 18.3% in Dallas-Fort Worth, and 17.3% in Atlanta. In each case, higher than last year, according to the data firm CoStar Group. Demand is inert. Consumer confidence has tumbled, as many are afraid or unable to spend. Families are still paying off or walking away from debt. Mark Zandi, chief economist of Moody's Analytics, estimates it will be the end of 2011 before the amount of income that households pay in interest recedes to levels seen before the run-up. Credit card delinquencies are rising. No wonder Americans are pessimistic and unhappy. In other words, the economy is not really getting better, at least not very fast, and times have changed. These are times like we've never seen before and will never be seen again. The only way we are going to get in gear is to face up to the reality that we are entering a period of austerity. This jury accounting should not suggest a nation with without strings. Unemployment rates have come down from their peaks in some areas of the United States, from Vermont to Minnesota to Wisconsin. Port traffic has increased, and employers have created an average of 68,111 jobs a month this year, although they need to create more than 100,000 jobs a month just to keep up with population growth. After falling in 2009, the stock market has spiraled up, although it could be headed for another bubble. And as a measure of economic health, that gain is overstated. Robert Reich, the former Labor Secretary, notes that the most profitable companies in domestic stock indexes generate approximately 40% of their revenue from abroad. We're still going to be living with the overhang of our financial and debt problems for a long, long time to come, and new shocks could push the nation into another recession or deflation. We are in a situation where our vulnerability to any new problem is great, said a professor of economics at the University of Maryland. So troubles ripple outward as lost jobs, unsold houses, and empty offices weigh down the economy and upend lives. Struggles in Arizona, New Jersey, and Georgia echo broadly. In 2005, Arizona ranked as usual second nationally in job growth behind Nevada, its economy predicated on growth. The snowbirds came, and construction boomed, and land stretched endless and cheap. Then it all stopped. This year, Arizona ranks 42nd in job growth. It has lost 287,000 jobs since the recession began, and the fall has been disastrous. Arizona's poverty rate has jumped to 19.6%, the second highest in the nation after Mississippi. The Association of Arizona Food Banks says demand has nearly doubled in the last 18 months. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, the housing market in this bedroom community just across the border from Philadelphia never leapt to the frenzied heights of Miami Beach or Las Vegas. But even if foreclosure notices are not tacked to every other door, a malaise has settled over the market. Home prices have fallen by 16% since 2006, and houses now take twice as long to sell as they did just 5 years ago. And that's enough to inflict pain on homeowners who need to sell because of a job loss or drop in income. Some are being forced to get rid of their houses in short sales, asking less than they owe on a mortgage. As of last week, 10% of all listings in this well-tended suburb were being offered as short sales. In Camden County, where Cherry Hill sits, unemployment is near 10%. Several large employers have closed or conducted huge layoffs, and others have pruned hours. Governor Chris Christie reining in spending, government workers are jittery. Atlanta, long fast-growing, no-holds-barred Atlanta, has burned to the ground before, figuratively and in reality. Each time it was a phoenix rising. But this recession has cut deeper than any since the Great Depression and left Atlanta's commercial and high-end condo real estate in an economic coma. Overall, assuming a robust growth rate, industry leaders said it could take another 12 years for Atlanta to absorb excess commercial space. The commercial vacancy rate in Buckhead is near 20%, and the Atlanta region has added jobs only at the low end. And that too is another problem. Also, small banks are a particular disaster, 43 having gone under in Georgia since 2008. Federal regulators closed 129 nationally this year, up from 25 last year. Real estate was the beginning, the middle, and the end of the troubles. Like I say, there's something much bigger going on here, because everything is connected and everything is numbered. And these are more signs of the end times, transition days, which is a continuing process. Everything that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better. Micah chapter 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. 2. And they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. 3. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Behold, against this family or nation do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. 4. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, We be utterly spoiled. He has changed the portion of my people. How has he removed it from me? Turning away, he has divided our fields. 5. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. 6. Prophesy ye not, say they to them that prophesy. They shall not prophesy to them, but they shall not take shame. 7. O thou that art named the house of Jacob, is the Spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walks uprightly? 8. Even of lately my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by security, as men averse from war. 9. The women of my people have you cast out from their pleasant houses. From their children have you taken away my glory forever. 10. Arise ye, and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. 11. If a man walking in the Spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. And, again, there are many different signs happening, day by day, all around the world.